So Monday nights, we have a little guidance. If you came for silent meditation, you can certainly mute your computer audio and set your own timer. We're going to sit for 30 minutes with a guided meditation and then take about 30 minutes to open it up for some Q&A, for some reporting, some connecting. So let's get right to it. Let me fix my computer screen here. Okay, so let's settle in. Whatever that means for you. So it might mean adjusting your posture, bringing a little bit of an intention to the position that your body is in. Maintaining kind of a deliberateness, a consciousness with our posture, a little bit of energy, maybe moving up through the body, up to the spine. And at the same time, softening. We're arriving gently in this space. And we can bring our attention to the breath. And if it seems like a good idea for you, we can use the breath for a few minutes to anchor our attention. And the breath doesn't work for everybody. So if that doesn't feel like it's going to be a kind of settling, relaxing experience for you, you could really use any object. So perhaps feeling in the body, in the feet, for example, the hands, somewhere that might be more neutral. But letting the attention land with some type of physical sensation related to breathing or unrelated. Could be a pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral sensation. Doesn't matter, just land your attention. Be open to the experience you're having. Developing our concentration by holding our focus where we deem relevant in this moment. Everything else can be in the background. And as we settle into the practice, if you notice that there's any areas of tension in the body that you're aware of, any tightness, we can extend an invitation for that to soften. And sometimes it can be helpful to kind of imagine that that tension grows heavy and gravity just gently draws it down right out of our body, right down through the floor into the earth beneath us. And in order for that to happen, we do need to let it go. So release. So we're not making this happen. We're just easing any grip or hold the best that we can. And I thought that for today's meditation, we could work with our relationship to our sensory experiences, whether it's mind, the object of thoughts, emotions, physical sensations. So, all of these ways that we know or relate to our experience, all experience, through our visual, physical, mind, emotional, auditory. And we oftentimes find ourselves identified, especially with the mind, which eventually leads to suffering. We rely on the mind oftentimes to inform us of who we are, what should be, what shouldn't be. The mind will push away certain experience, will cling to others. So I wanted to do a little practice where we could try to establish kind of a more real relationship to mind, one that will liberate us from some of that identification and suffering. So, with our eyes closed, I was thinking of using a metaphor of a parade. Our experiences moment to moment move through in a variety of ways. Sometimes there's a lot of busy mind activity, it's quite loud and strong. There may be a strong physical sensation or sensations present, pleasant, unpleasant. Could be strong emotions, could be subtle emotions, really the whole spectrum of experience. And of course, moment to moment, I may have certain thoughts as well as an emotion present and maybe a physical sensation. And we can imagine that is like this continually passing parade of experience, thought, physical sensations, emotions, sights, sounds. And when we're identified with these experiences, especially the thoughts, we can think of that as thinking we're actually in the parade. We're one of the characters in the parade. And that in a moment might be a very pleasant type experience. We may feel like we're the grand marshal and we're wonderful and all is well and we have control of the situation and we are admired and cheered. And in a moment, just like in life, that can change. Perhaps we trip and fall and drop our special stick we carry, and then we feel humiliated. So, in a flash, we experience these changes moment to moment. One minute, we're feeling on top of the world, we're wonderful. The next, we're feeling like we failed. We may have moments of feeling quite neutral. There's not a lot going on, just kind of taking care of business. We may feel an emotion and feel like we're completely inside of it. Like we're a person in that parade who is feeling fear, for example. And our attention narrows and contracts on a particular character in that parade. So if that character is fearful, oftentimes our attention narrows and zooms in to the exclusion of everything else. Or if we have a strong body sensation, we have a pain in the body. Oftentimes, again, we narrow our attention to that particular experience. It becomes highlighted in this parade of phenomena. So, as a first step, if we haven't already done this, I'd invite you to imagine we're stepping out of the parade and we become an observer. We stand on the sidelines and we've created that space, that distance between the observer and the constant passing through of these sensations, thoughts, emotions. And we may notice there's an element in the parade that we have strong feelings around. Maybe we're not into clowns and the clown shows up and we feel fear, we feel resistance. And again, our attention contracts on that one element of the parade. And, it's funny as human beings, we actually oftentimes get really snagged by even the most unpleasant experiences. We kind of invite that clown over or maybe follow along closely in that parade. So insane, really, how we can often obsess or ruminate on these experiences that generate suffering. And of course, we do that oftentimes with the positive. If we love balloons and the balloon guy goes by, then we again want to cling. We want to stay with that experience. So we back up and we create that space. And we do our best to allow the whole parade to go by without engaging. All of the spectrum of emotions, joy, fear, sadness, happiness, love, grief, beautiful thoughts, negative thoughts, just letting them flow by. Not trying to change a thing. And if we notice resistance come up, or we notice an emotion come up, that's part of the parade. Just letting those sensations, those experiences arise and pass. Almost like they have nothing to do with you. We don't take them so personally. We can have this open knowing or noticing without getting hooked, without getting dragged along. And as a last step, I'd invite you to zoom your attention out even further. So we're aware of this parade of phenomena continually arising and passing, but we're also aware of the space within which it is coming and going. That vast emptiness that is completely unaffected. It has no preference for what's moving through. So see if you can hold a sense of that spaciousness that contains everything. And nothing is excluded here. If discomfort is present, we don't need to have anything be different, no pushing away, no needing to fix, don't need to control. Standing back, just resting in the knowing that you are not and have never been in the parade. These characters that come and go, these objects of thought, feelings, emotions come and go, aren't you. This knowing that knows the pleasant is the same knowing that knows the pain, is the same knowing that knows the emotions, the thoughts. So be that knowing. Open awareness. No problems. And if you notice that your attention has contracted, it maybe got lost in a thought, maybe gripped a physical sensation that's present, an emotion, no problem. It's bound to happen. Just relax the attention back open, inclusive, including all that's coming and going, as well as that which is not coming and going. The mind will often try to insist that you pay attention to what it has to say. But just for this time, try to disengage from all thought, even thought about the practice, even if there's something pressing you need to deal with in life, just for this time, not attending to any thoughts. If the attention grips on a particular thought, do your best to relax. Relax the mind, relax the attention back open. And if we were to take an honest look, I think it would be clear to see that most of our thoughts aren't even true. They're just a result of our conditioned filters, subjective reactions. The more we disengage with our thoughts, the less we will suffer. Doesn't mean the thinking stops. The thoughts don't need to go away. The mind does not need to be quiet. We just need to stop paying so much attention, stop giving them so much value. So become disinterested.